Hey y'all, I'm Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend here with me. Hit that subscribe button and come back on a regular basis. I would love to have you here to see every one of my videos. So I think I have been living under a rock because I have never had a Colourpop eyeshadow palette. Is that not crazy? They're so affordable. I don't know what I've been doing. I have had some of their shock shadows that you apply with your fingers, and I have loved them, but for some reason I have not had a palette until now. I just recently picked up the Dream Street Kathleen Lights by Colourpop eyeshadow palette. I got this at Ulta because Ulta is now carrying Colourpop, and it comes with a total of 12 shades, and it looks like this. I think it's just a really good looking palette as far as color combos. You could definitely create a warm look. There's some blues in there if you want to get a little adventurous. There's this pretty pink right here, and I just really am excited to try it out. Now, I have not used this palette yet. I thought I would do kind of like a first impressions on camera, so that is what we're going to do. So let's get started. Now, I've already done my foundation and the rest of my face. I even already have on some lipstick, so and I've done my brows. So I'm going to start with my tried and true e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. This is the primer that I like to use on first impressions because I know that this primer is good, and so we will see how the shadows work with that primer. So first, opening up the palette, one thing I see that it is missing is just a matte cream color. Now this one can be used for that, and that's what the one I'm going to use, but it's a little bit darker than I normally would reach for, but we're gonna make it work. I'm going to take my NYX blending brush, and I'm going to start with this peachy shade right here that is called, I guess that's called Stardust. I'm looking at the back. I wouldn't think that would be called Stardust, but maybe it is. It's definitely a warm, peachy shade. A little bit orangier than I had thought. Pigment is really nice. So in an effort to tone down some of that orangeness, I'm going to go in with the shade right next to it called Twinkle, and it's definitely it's just a matte neutral kind of brown shade, light brown. Very pigmented. These eyeshadows are incredibly pigmented, I will say that. I will say this too, they are pulling warmer when you swatch them and on the eye than they look in this palette when you just like glance at the palette. Okay, so get me a smaller brush. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild professional brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called I think it's called Water Bear. I'm just going to build that up in the crease and in the outer corner. And then I'm going to go back in with that original brush and do some blending. Even smaller brush. This is an e.l.f. detailed crease brush, and I'm going to go in with this darkest shade right here. It's called Moony, and I'm just really going to focus the outer V. Do a little blending. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Magical. It's a shimmer shade, and I'm just going to place it with my finger. On the lid. And then that shade right next to it is called Shooting Star. I'm going to place that kind of starting just in the dead center. And I'm going to take my original blending brush and just do some blending. Now I'm going to, do we want to be adventurous? Maybe be a little adventurous and take some of this dark blue. Let's do the matte dark blue and do a little liner. I really wish this palette had a mirror in it. But for the price, a little bit of this on top. I don't think that's too much. I think that's really pretty, actually. I'm really liking that. I'm going to take a flat brush and go in with this shade right here called Spark. I'm just going to put that in the inner corner. It's just a pretty gold color. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my lashes, pop on some mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay, y'all, so verdict in. I really like this palette. I think it's really pretty. Of course, I did not use all the shades in the palette, but the ones that I did use, I really did like. Yeah, so I'm pretty impressed by this. I have been doing a lot of these videos lately on these palettes, and so far I've been really impressed by most all of them. I think, and a lot of them have been affordable, so I think that palettes and eyeshadows are really kind of stepping up their game, which is nice, and it shows you don't have to go out and buy a $50 or a $70 palette to get a good payoff. You can really get bang for your buck and pick up a $16 palette that has 12 shades in it and is full of opportunities of different looks that you can create. So I think that it's very fascinating what makeup companies are doing, the more affordable companies. These are not typical drugstore companies, so I think these are better. I mean, you go to the drugstore and pick up, say, you know, a palette for $10, $15, and I just don't think the quality is there like it is with these brands like Colourpop and Bad Habit and the different ones you can get from Hush Cosmetics. So I'm pretty impressed with the way makeup companies, where they are headed and what they are doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week. And I will see y'all all soon. Bye, y'all.